What is up, my Pika crew? This is the ThePikaWu, and welcome to another X and Y Wi-Fi battle. This one's going to be against a guy called Haxergon0520. Very awesome battle, very awesome guy. Be sure to check him out after the matchup. Link will be in the description below. Now, onto the team matchup analysis. Now, looking at the teams and looking at the rosters of the teams, it seems like it's going to be a pretty balanced game. Both teams have a mix of commonly used Pokemon as well as lesser used Pokemon. I'm running Galvantula and Typhlosion as my lesser used Pokemon, while my opponent's running Arcanine and Tyrantrum. Now, in terms of who has the advantage in terms of matchup, I think maybe my opponent has a slight advantage, simply because he has one specific Pokemon that I don't really have a checker or counter to, and I'll explain that later in the threats. So in terms of my team weaknesses, my team doesn't really have any weaknesses in terms of typing. Or at least any major weaknesses. I do have a slight weakness against Dark, Ground, and Rock. In terms of team playstyle, I'm running Hyper Offensive. I don't really have any walls or anything on my team, running basically 6 Sweepers and Galvantula for speed control. In terms of team threats, my opponent's Garchomp, Greninja, and Talonflame are going to be big threats, especially Talonflame, because I don't really have an answer to in Talonflame if it sets up to +2 attack successfully with Swords Dance. In terms of my opponent's team, he actually has a good amount of typing weaknesses. His team is pretty weak to Dragon, Water, and Rock, and he has a slight weakness in Ice. In terms of team playstyle, he's playing Hyper Offensive as well. He's got 6 Sweepers. And in terms of team threats, I think Pokemon on my team that are very important to keep are going to be Starmie and Goodra, just because they hit its team very hard, and I do take advantage of the super effective weaknesses that my opponents have, which are Dragon and Water, which Starmie and Goodra both capitalize on. So that is going to be the team analysis. I hope you guys enjoy the battle, and yeah, enjoy. So I'm going to lead off with my Galvantula, as my opponent's going to lead off with Talonflame. I lead off with Galvantula because it has the Focus Sash, it can live 1 item, and I do want to set up my Sticky Web as soon as possible. But my opponent actually leads off with the Talonflame, and Talonflame is going to be a very dangerous Pokemon. I really don't want him setting up anything or going for 2 Brave Birds to take me out, so I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to go ahead and just go straight for the Thunder, knowing that I can live any hit with the Focus Sash item. So I do take down the Talonflame, which is the biggest threat in the game during the first turn, so that's definitely worth it. And I'd much rather take down the Talonflame than set up the Sticky Web. So I'm pretty weakened, and I do want to save my Galvantula for later to set up the Sticky Web later on in the match, so I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Aegislash, pretty much the only thing that can deal against this Arcanine pretty decently, and I was actually anticipating him to go for the Extreme Speed, play it safe, but he actually predicts my switch, and he goes for the Flare Blitz, which is a very, very great play, plays very aggressively, and it definitely paid off, because that is going to take me out in 2 hits, but I know he's going to switch out into his Greninja, because he's expecting me to go for the King's Shield to try to lower the Arcanine's attack. So I'm going to go straight out onto the offensive, and I'm going to go for the Sacred Sword. It's going to be super effective against this Greninja, and it's going to take it out. So it's going to be very, very aggressive plays from the beginning for both players. And I did play pretty risky, but it definitely paid off because Greninja, like I said in the team preview, is a threat that I want to get rid of. Now he brings in the Garchomp and he goes for the Swords Dance. Main reason why I didn't go for the Shadow Sneak is because I don't want him setting up a substitute or something like that, because it is 40 base power, and although I am an Aegislash, it might not be able to break a substitute if he does go for the sub. So that's why I am just constantly going for the Sacred Sword instead of going for the Shadow Sneak to get the extra damage. So my Aegislash is at a low amount of HP. I'm just going to leave it there just to die. There's really nothing that can take a +2 Earthquake on my team. So now that my Aegislash is down, I am going to bring in my Starmie just to revenge kill this Garchomp. I'm going to go ahead and go for the safe Ice Beam because I know nothing on his team really appreciates an Ice Beam. He does have 1 resist, and that is his Arcanine, but I don't think he wants to bring in an Arcanine against a Starmie. But he actually brings in the Charizard to take a hit. I know that I can outspeed and go for a Hydro Pump, and even if he is a Scarf set, I'm pretty sure he can't take me down in 1 hit with any move he carries, because they usually carry Focus Blast, Fire Blast, and Air Slash. So that's really good. Now, he doesn't really have many answers to this Starmie, so I'm just free to try to wreck his team as much as possible. But he actually does carry a Tyrantrum on his team, and it carries the Focus Sash item, so he is able to live that hit, and he's able to pull off a Crunch, and with that extra attack boost from its ability, it's going to be able to take me down. I'm going to go ahead and go into my Galvantula, and I do make a series of misplays here. Instead of actually taking him down, I went for the Sticky Web. The reason why was I thought I could outspeed him after the Dragon Dance because Tyrantrums aren't that fast, and a lot of them do carry like HP and bulk to some degree. Plus, I thought that I did have other options, even if he did set up, because I do have a Choice Scarf Typhlosion in the back of my team. So that's why I went ahead and went for the Sticky Web instead of taking him out. The Sticky Web does help me on later on, as you'll see, but here I'm going to bring in my Heracross, thinking I could live any hit, thinking I could live a Fire Fang, but I actually ran Calcs later on after the match, and I really can't take a +1 hit from Tyrantrum at all, so I am just going to die to a Head Smash. Luckily for me, though, he actually takes himself down. It's going to be a double down. If he went for another move like Fire Fang and took me out, he would have been at a better position. But luckily for me, it is going to be a blind switch in. The best Pokemon I can bring in is definitely my Typhlosion, because I only have Goodra and Typhlosion left, and Typhlosion can generally deal with both its Garchomp and the 9. So I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the Focus Blast, try to deal as much damage as possible, hopefully take him out, and let's see. He's going to live with a Slither of health, unfortunately, and he's going to retaliate back with an Earthquake, and that is very dangerous because I only have one Pokemon left, my Goodra, and Goodra does not carry any speed EVs at all, meaning that if this Garchomp is a jolly max speed set, he's going to be able to outspeed me and take me down with a Dragon Claw. So let's see who outspeeds. I end up outspeeding with Goodra, and that was awesome because the match really came down to who outsped who. And now that its Garchomp is dead, he only has one Pokemon left, and that is his Arcanine. With the Sticky Web, I am going to be able to outspeed him, and I am going to be able to take him out with a Draco Meteor. So that is going to be the match. Hope you guys enjoyed. Very, very close battle. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, a favorite, and a comment. And thank you for watching my battle. Be sure to check out my Facebook page and my Twitter page because I do upload these videos early release on those websites. And yeah, stay tuned for the common question of the day. And shout out to Alfie for the Aegislash, Tenetio for the Galvantula and Typhlosion, and Ernest for the Heracross, Goodra, and Starmie. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.